You're listening to the Fantasy Football Podcast with Charles Barr and John Chapman.
Episode 15 is here, folks, and this is where we separate the boys from the men.
Yeah, the boys from the men, and the boys to men. If you're into R&B, I guess maybe we could do that.
Or Philadelphia references.
Dude, there we go. Another bad creation. I'll go all day.
Exactly. But yeah, no, in all honesty, this is the point in the season where you start to see who's been studying, who hasn't, and who can stick to their guns.
Man.
Because you can have all the knowledge in the world and suck in the season and drop people that you shouldn't.
And it is poaching season. And, you know, I absolutely love when bye weeks start. And so with the bye weeks that we have coming up, I want to go and poach the worst rosters that are out there that are having a hard time filling out a starting lineup. And so
Absolutely.
I'm looking at people that have the Falcons, you know, that have all these guys that are either in injuries or are doing too well. And I am just sending in trades for bye week players now. And I'm trying my hardest just to pry and get fantasy studs for free because you can get them on the cheap.
And that's what season this is. I really do think that some people make some pretty key mistakes right about now. Either they don't go after a guy that they should and they're holding on to Adrian Peterson.
Oh, my God.
Or vice versa, you know, where they're shelling out players that they shouldn't. And yeah, I mean, and we'll eat their mistakes.
Yep. I'm trying to get Jordan Reed. He's got a bye week coming off an injury and he hasn't performed well. Go after those types of guys. These are buy low moments, and the formula doesn't change. Buy low, sell high, and you have to go after those fantasy assets that can perform, and that's what you got to get right now.
All right, man, but how about some things that are kind of uncontrollable? This week, you know, there was some injuries that were pretty key, and one that was close to my heart, Dalvin Cook. He's on my fantasy team this year, and I'm an FSU fan.
Oh, man. And it was bad. He looked so great. He was destined to have a great year, and just boom. It sucks. The non-contact completely tore ACL. Seemed like they knew it right away. He's done. We'll talk about who to take spot later on there. But the Packers, and stay in the division, Ty Montgomery breaks a few ribs. Now, with Ty Montgomery, something you got to remember, he was diagnosed with sickle cell this summer. Which basically sickle cell just takes everything longer to heal. So usually with broken ribs, you're thinking 2 to 6 weeks, but it could be prolonged. It could be there. And then Jamal Williams steps in and he gets hurt. Now it's down to Alex Jones, and we'll talk about that a little bit.
But Jamal Williams doesn't have sickle cell, so.
That is factually correct as of now, yes.
Advantage him.
It's sad, but technically, if those are the classifications, Jamal Williams gets the advantage there.
He's the better running back for the long term. Okay. Next up is the injury to Chris Carson.
Oh, again, 7th round pick, come out looking awesome. Looks like he's taking the lead role, just played great. And they had him in when the game was way out of hand. They were up over 20 points and snapped his leg. Air cast, carted off, put on IR. He is out. And now basically the Seattle running back situation is as bad as the freaking Ravens.
Yeah. Can I just tell you something? This is such a random and hilarious thought that one of the guys who we're about to talk about who just got injured, Derek Carr. Now, this is a true story, John Chapman. Go look at Derek Carr when he's like 10 or 12 years old and tell me you don't feel like you're looking in a mirror because he looks just like you. You guys look so similar at that age.
Me?
Basically.
Really?
Yeah, like I see like young John Chapman.
I'll take that as a compliment. I do think he wears eyeliner, but hey, man, you do what you got to do.
Think about it. But anyway, so how long is this guy out?
So they said 2 to 6 weeks, which, you know, there's a little bit of turmoil going on with Jack Del Rio. Like, so Derek Carr gets hurt, and it looks pretty bad. His back is an issue. And the press conference afterwards, they interview the head coach first, and he's like, oh, it's back spasms. And you can tell he totally didn't talk to the trainers or to Derek Carr because Derek Carr gets up next for the press conference and they're like, oh, well, Jack Del Rio said it was back spasms. And Carr goes, oh, well, I guess I'm glad that he knows that. I didn't know that, but
Wow.
totally is not what it was. It was not back spasms. And so 2 to 6 weeks. And what's weird, too, Marcus Mariota gets hurt right afterwards. These two people had season-ending injuries last year about 20 minutes apart. And sure enough, gets injured. Mariota, possible he could play this week. Definitely not that serious, but you got to monitor it. So
Sounds like voodoo to me. But,
it's weird. It is very strange.
I'm going to just leave that one alone. So moving on from our injury report of things that matter, just some random news that may be something, may not be.
Okay. All right, let's play this game. I'm excited.
Well, they're starting to heat up some chatter around AP. Is there anywhere that this guy could go where it would make a difference?
No. Unless you're talking like arena football or something, he's done. He's done. You've seen it. Mark Ingram, 100 times better. Kamara, 100 times better. So even if you trade him to a situation, look at the teams that need running back help. They need running back help because their offensive line is terrible. And if you put AP in that situation, it's not going to change. AP is no longer fantasy relevant and will not be unless, let's say, he went to a team like Green Bay. But they're obviously not going to do that. It's not who Green Bay is. So he's done. He's dead to fantasy forever.
This one's just random, and this is just from me, but Jay Cutler sucks.
Oh, my God.
He is just a non-competitor, and it bothers me that you get the privilege to be in the NFL, to be one of the top paid guys at one point, and
$10 million
go out there.
$10 million. He can get up to 13, and he doesn't give a shit.
No, he didn't care.
He is awful, and it turns out there's a reason why he retired. It's because he's not good at football.
The lazy guy you go to work with and who doesn't do shit and you just hate carrying his weight? That's Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
On the football field.
It's always his name on everything that's turned in and like, oh, way to go, Jay.
Exactly. I handed that ball off perfectly.
God, he's terrible.
I
wouldn't be surprised if Matt Moore gets a start. I think this week will be key, but if things don't go well, this is where it ends because you can't keep running that out there. And the head coach even came out and said, I'm sick and tired of watching this offense. He said that. I'm tired of watching it. And I'm just like, oh, thank you, because so am I. Nobody wants to watch this crap. Now, here's what's crazy. He has the number 2 fantasy-friendly defense this week at Tennessee versus Tennessee at home. So it's now or it's over. So this is going to be huge for Cutler.
It's hard to see him fail here, okay? It just is because that offensive line can do work on this Tennessee defensive line. He's got a receiving core from hell in the best sense. They're awesome.
Yeah.
He's got a running back, top 5 guy. I mean, come on. Why can't you win this game against an injured Mariota? But I'm telling you, in my gut, I feel this guy is going to blow it for this team this week.
You think Cutler's going to blow it?
I do. I don't trust him this week against the easiest. I don't know why. I just see him blowing this.
Yeah, he's terrible. I could see Jay Ajayi having a good game if it stays close.
Exactly.
He's been terrible, and that's another wonderful buy low candidate. You can go get that guy for super, super cheap. Offer a mid-tier wide receiver and just kind of see where that goes. Sammy Watkins.
Yeah.
Give it a shot. Try it.
Yeah. It's like Jay Cutler thinks he's too cool to be in the NFL. Some kid working retail, some teenager who acts like he didn't give a shit about the store. That's who he is. Anyways, moving on.
I just want him gone.
Me too. So here's something that makes me happy. Mitch Trubisky. I'm loving it for the Bears. Good
biscuit.
For them. What's that?
The biscuit. It's happening,
biscuit.
man. It is go time. They said that there's no way he's playing year 1. Yeah, right. Your job is on the line, John Fox. You better get him out there. John Fox already fired, first off. But here's what sucks. I think Trubisky could be good. He was amazing in the preseason. The offensive line is solid. He has the worst wide receivers in the NFL. And that's saying a lot because there's some pretty shitty wide receiver groups out there. but
Yep.
he has the worst. So don't expect a lot. Don't expect Deshaun Watson good. It's not coming. But he does love throwing to the tight ends. So Zach Miller and Adam Shaheen, two guys, man, they're on an uptick. If you're in deep leagues, go grab them.
Moving on to waiver wire pickups. Again, this is the men and the boys, so consider wisely what you're about to hear.
Now, here's what's crazy is, as I'm doing my research for this podcast, I want to focus on guys that are 50% owned or less in leagues. And sure enough, Adam Kamara, still there. He's owned in 42% of leagues. That is ridiculous. He is a must-owned. Wendell Smallwood, 47% of leagues. Absolute must-own. Those guys we told you about. We told you about them last week. And hopefully you listened. But if not, go get them now. But as far as new guys, I want Latavius Murray. And let me explain this.
I don't
like Latavius Murray. I don't like him at all.
Me neither.
But
yeah,
who's the other running back there?
I don't care. I trust Latavius Murray like I trust Sandusky to watch my children. I just don't.
He's going to be involved. So it works both ways. Because guess what? He's going to be involved with your kids just like Murray's going to be involved in this offense.
No, he won't. I refuse. He's not my
Jared
kids. Are not going
McKinnon's
to Penn
hurt.
State.
It's not a terrible offensive line. They have nobody else.
McKinnon showed out a few times
McKinnon's
last year.
hurt.
I think
he's hurt.
Dude, Latavius Murray is trash, and I'm telling you, he ran behind a very underrated line with the Raiders. And I'm just going to tell you, he's going to run into the back of people's butts and fumble the ball and be terrible on goal line. I think Stephon Diggs is going to be – his stock is up for me right now. Targets on targets on targets for that guy.
Yeah, I think we have one more week of without Bradford. But here's the deal, okay? So let's look at Latavius Murray. He had 7 rushes for 21 yards. That's not great. He had 2 catches on 2 targets for 8 yards. That's not great either. But he still put up 5 points in less than half of a game. So he's going to get targets. You're talking about a guy, this is not a guy winning you fantasy championships, but he's a bye-week flex play. That's what he is with upside. You're hoping with him that he gets a touchdown and he gets 4 catches. And his numbers will not go down throughout the year. There's zero way he is not going to be involved. So he's a super safe pickup, and I don't mind getting him. Am I happy to start him? No.
All right. Out of Murray, Alex Jones, Gallman, who's your guy?
Okay. So I got classifications for each one. If you need help for the next 2 weeks, Alex Jones, 100%. Okay? If you just need somebody short-term, it's Alec Jones. He's not a long-term play because eventually Ty Montgomery will be back to full speed. Okay? Gallman is the home run swing of a lifetime. This guy has the opportunity to literally be the feature back in that offense. He's the only one that has looked good behind this offensive line, and he is the huge boom-bust pick, and he's the guy I would take number 1. But then who was the next guy you talked about? Sorry?
You said Alex Jones.
Gallman or Murray. That's what you're saying?
Yes.
If I'm swinging for the fences, it's Gallman. If I just need short-term help, I'm going Alex Jones. And if, I'm basically just need steady because my team's a beast and I want a long-term play, I'm going Murray.
Ugh. How about this McGuire kid? Is he for real?
No. Yeah, no.
9 runs, 93 yards, something like this.
Yeah, no, so I get it, right? Like he looked decent, but they're not always going to be playing in games like this. They're going to be behind, and Bilal Powell is going to be the reception guy, and Forte was out, which he'll be back from turf toe soon. The Jets are not somebody that I really want to bank on. I don't mind you putting a flyer out there. But again, he's not going to be a guy that you're going to want to count on. I have him ranked as my 43rd running back this week, so I don't even have him as a flex play. I just don't think that's where he should be.
Here's a question, really quick, before we move on: is Terrence West droppable?
I'm going to say almost, and it depends on what you can get for him.
Yeah.
So Terrence West, everything that they have done has been, we want Terrence West to be the guy, but just bad things have happened. And so now they have Alex Collins, and Alex Collins is going to have the chance. Like, he looked good, but he has fumble issues that have caused him to be cut from running back needy teams. So if Alex Smith goes out there, or Collins goes out there and fumbles, man, it's the Terrence West show again. So I'm not dropping him unless I can get something great. For Kamara, yes. For Alex Jones, yeah, I'd probably drop him.
No.
I probably would. But he's not just like cut. He's not. He still has a chance.
Gotcha. All right, next we're just going to kind of give a basic update of the top 3 in every position that matters. We won't be talking about kickers. So, John, start us off with, let's start with quarterbacks.
Ooh, the quarterbacks. Now, if you had to guess, who's the number 1 fantasy quarterback, who would you say?
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith? Close. He's number 2. So number 1 is Tom Brady. Then you have Alex Smith, and then Russell Wilson is number 3. Which, man, it's so weird that he is that high. Other outliers, you have Deshaun Watson, number 7. If he's out there, pick him up. I don't care if you have Aaron Rodgers. Pick up Deshaun Watson at all costs. Go get him if he's on your waiver wire, which he shouldn't be. But those are your top 3 quarterbacks through four weeks into the season. And that's the thing. We're a quarter of the way through the regular season for fantasy football already.
Love it. What about at running back? I bet you I know number 1.
Okay, who's number 1?
Kareem Hunt.
Nope, Todd Gurley.
Whoa.
Right? Yeah, exactly. I mean, the guy is just nuts. And a lot of it is he's got 7 touchdowns already. Through 4 games, he's got 7 touchdowns. Number 2 is Kareem Hunt, and then it is a gigantic drop-off to Le'Veon Bell at 3. But Le'Veon Bell has 77 points. Kareem Hunt has 112. Todd Gurley, 119. So you're talking a dramatic drop-off after the top 2.
And some of our guys who were top-tier guys are starting to ascend. You saw Ezekiel Elliott. You're like, there you are. And you saw Le'Veon Bell. You're like, I see you.
Is way more active in the pass game. Yep. Way more, and that's huge. So, Zeke. If I was redrafting today, Zeke would probably be 1 or 2, 100%.
Holy smokes.
Number 1 would be Kareem Hunt. I'm taking Kareem Hunt number 1 if I was redoing it. I'd go Hunt 1, Gurley 2. I'd go Hunt 1, Zeke 2, then Gurley 3, then Bell 4. That's what I would do.
How about wide receiver?
Oh, the wonderful wide receiver. Take a guess. Who's up top? You already said his name once.
Did I?
Yep.
I don't know, man.
Stephon Diggs.
Oh, Diggs, absolutely. And his buddy shouldn't be far behind him either, Adam Thielen.
Where is he? He's number 12. So they got 2 wide receiver 1s, but it goes Stephon Diggs, Antonio Brown, and DeAndre Hopkins, who is on the biggest uptick ever. DeAndre Hopkins is going to be a monster. This is what we saw 2 years ago. Just lots and lots of targets and lots of receptions.
I feel like this is the fantasy season of the dry desert wide receiver. I don't know. That's just what I'm going to call it.
It's
more than ever.
Scoring is down. Everything is down.
Yeah. I've noticed that just with the scoring in general in standard leagues, it appears that scoring's down right now.
Yep.
How about tight end? Take us through that.
Man, tight end is a wasteland. Like, the names that you see these are all top 12 tight ends, okay? I'm just going to go quick. Kobe Fleener, Ben Watson, Jared Cook, Jesse James, Jason Witten. But the top 3 guys, you got Gronk, Ertz, and Kelsey. And Charles Clay is not far behind them. So there's a 4. There's a top 4 and then a gigantic drop-off. Clay, Kelsey, Ertz, and Gronk, and those 4 guys, that's where it's at. And what's crazy is Charles Clay, he's owned in like 80% of leagues. Like, he's just on the waiver wire. Stupid.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So that kind of wraps it up for the positions that matter because, again, we're not going to go into kickers here.
No, kickers don't have a soul, and they're not real people.
Yes, I believe that. Let's go to our game of the week.
Yes.
That was
So
yeah. That
here's what we're going to start doing is we're going to highlight one game that's going to have a lot of fantasy relevance, whether good or bad. And this week, I think we get both. Because you have the Los Angeles Chargers. Yes, that's where they are. It's Los Angeles. And
Yeah.
they are traveling all the way to New York to play the Giants, which is just terrible, terrible, terrible for the Chargers. And they are going to lay an absolute egg. It is not going to go well.
You think so?
I do. I think it's going to get bad. And it's an early kickoff, which is even it's terrible. Like your body's
I got a different opinion.
Oh, let's hear it.
Okay. Let me tell you why the San Diego Chargers are going to win this game.
Oh, I want to hear it.
Win it, okay? Number one, the Giants cannot run the ball.
Wayne
That's
Gallman,
a problem.
Wayne Gallman, baby.
Nah. They're not going to run. No. Not behind this offensive line. This is not going to happen. Okay, so then when you can't run the ball, guess what you got? You got the best pass rushing tandem in football in Ingram and Joey Bosa. They're going to eat. They're going to eat a lot, and there's going to be 2 interceptions. There's going to be a fumble or 2 recovery. The defense is going to show up. Phillip Rivers, listen, dude, Philly just played him. Here's the deal. The guy can still sling it. He can still tear you apart. I know they got a great secondary. I just don't care. I think also this may be Hunter Henry's final week to really come out. I think they started to realize they need him.
The Giants are the worst against the tight ends. And I would say this. I would be willing to start both Chargers tight ends this week if you are desperate at tight end. I'm writing an article, and I'm going to be talking about you got to start the freaking Antonio Gates. He's a play. Giants suck against the tight end. They're terrible.
So that's my take. That's the reason.
Well, and it's okay. I mean, nobody's right, and I'm willing to put a bet on this game if you want to. Would you like to bet straight up?
So here's what I'm doing right now. If you say straight up, I'm taking the away team that travels across the country that's also injured.
I'll give you 3 points.
Okay.
3 points. You're taking the Giants.
I'm going to take the Giants, and it's going to be a high-scoring
No,
affair.
I got the Giants.
No, sorry, Chargers. I'm going 31-24 Chargers.
So you get 3 points. Okay.
Yeah.
What would you like the bet to be?
I have a great bet right now. Let's keep this YouTube style, okay? And you have to, over a beat, freestyle about the NFL on YouTube Live if you lose, and then I have to if I lose, and post it to Twitter.
I have to freestyle?
Freestyle rap, baby.
I'm not that cool. I'm not sure what that means. Freestyle rap
or sing a cappella to a melody of my choice.
Acapella?
Yeah, about football, okay? You said bring it. I brought it. Sounds like you're hesitating.
No, I just don't know what the hell freestyle is. Obviously, I'm not that cool as you.
You're like Rabbit. You're like Eminem in the first scene of 8 Mile.
He's having sex in the first scene, right?
I didn't mean that part. I meant the part.
All right, so let's rehash this. So, Giants versus the Chargers. I'm taking the Giants. You get 3 points.
Woo!
Okay. John takes. Wow, I'm taking the Giants, and the loser has to freestyle rap or sing a cappella to a melody of your choice. Now, here's the deal. Can I write out just a few lines in a freestyle rap?
Sure. Think about it all day. I mean, no one's going to watch you. I'm just saying you got to embarrass yourself.
Oh, that's cool. I have no pride. I'm a Chapman.
Okay.
All
yeah,
right.
And I'm a bar.
Bet is in. You bet on the roadway. All right, very good.
Oh, I'm going to be thinking about this bet all week.
Yeah, I know. I'm stressed.
I don't feel like this is going to be one for you because
I'm tone deaf, or because I have no musical talent whatsoever, or because you sing all the time. Like, that's totally
to myself.
That's okay. That's okay. I'll roll with it. I don't mind.
Oh, we'll make it good. Okay, so that is our bet, and I just want to say too, from just a football perspective, it kind of seems like Brandon Marshall showed up a little bit more this week. And Evan Ingram.
Yeah, I was ready to be done with him.
Yeah, and Evan Ingram is second in tight end targets, only to Zach Ertz.
Gosh, man, I didn't think that he would be able to sustain, but he's freaking awesome. Evan Ingram's great. He was the rookie tight end. We knew somebody would go off, whether it was O.J. Howard or David Njoku or Evan Ingram. It's definitely not Njoku. He is touchdown dependent. It is Evan Ingram. Like, he's the guy. He's the guy.
Go get him if he's out there. He's probably not.
No, he's not.
So this signs off for episode 15. If you want to hit us up again, just looking for any kind of dialogue, you want to talk about how to go from, getting finally your first win of the season if you're 0-4, hit us up on Twitter, man. We'll help you out if we can.
Yeah, I get a lot of texts and messages. Hey, go with this guy or this guy this week. Hey, I had this guy. Who should I pick up? And a lot of those are rankings questions, and send them over. I'm more than happy to help out. It's JL_Chapman, JL_CHAPMAN. We're here for you guys. We want you to win, and it's fun for us just to be involved, so we really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And don't worry, that siren in the background, that's not for John. I don't know why.
No, it's not, because my fantasy predictions are killing it. That's what the siren is for.
Oh,
how do you
nice.
like that freestyle, son? How you like that?
I don't know, you didn't rhyme anything, but yeah, we'll get there.
Is that do you have to rhyme it?
It's like Dr. Seuss.
I was just doing like a metaphor.
Nope.
And, yep. Sorry.
That's not what that is. Yeah.
Please win, Giants. Please.
This is not a poetry slam.
I could probably do well at that.
Wait a second. Adjustment to the bet,
no,
please. No.
Screw you.
No. A third choice is you get to do a poetry style slam about fantasy football.
Okay, or a poetry slam. I'm adding it to the notes.
My hands are sweating.
It is in the annals of history, so we will make it happen.
All right. Well, I've never been in the annals of history, but this is episode 15.
It's dark.
And we're signing off.
Peace.